It is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode of the Chad Prather Show. It is Wednesday. That means it is hump day, and we're going to get Humpty Hump up here in the mothership, which is Studio 22. The puppet master perfectionist Mark is driving us into the nether regions of all things insanity. Super Chris Cruz sitting over there like Chewbacca. I like that. Look at you. No, it was just a Wookiee joke, and you look like one. And you're sitting next to Mark, who's somehow reminded me a mix between Han Solo and Star-Lord. I don't know. It's weird. Anybody else turned on in here? Woo, Mark.
It's getting hot.
Mark don't say much, but you know what? He's steamy. Jorge Ventura is back. He is with us in the hot seat. Welcome, my friend. What all are you working on right now? I know you've been at the border. You've been doing the Uvalde stuff. What the documentary and everything, you still working on the Chinese drugs?
Yeah. The Asian cartels taking over Northern California through the illegal marijuana, cannabis industry, the violence, human trafficking. It's super fascinating. What makes the Asian cartels a bit different, Chad, up in Northern California, is they are actually trying to get involved in the local politics, which is very different from the Mexican cartels and Chinese nationals. So it's very interesting, the stuff we're working on. We're going to continue our border coverage pretty soon. Still covering, it's still a massive crisis. So people don't forget about the border. The drugs are still flowing in. The fentanyl is still coming in. I mean, just in the state of Texas, the past 2 years, fentanyl overdoses have jumped up close to 400%. So we're going to jump up all over that. So stay tuned for all that coverage.
So how bad is the fentanyl problem in California compared to Texas?
It's bad. It's basically at the same. I mean, it's horrible in every single state. The state right now.
Every state at this point is a border state.
Yeah, every state. I would say the states that are mostly right now impacted are the Rust Belt. So like you have your Pennsylvania, your Michigan, and your Ohio's number one. Yeah. Impacted by fentanyl. So yeah.
I heard a stat the other day talking about Ohio, and I was like, come on, that can't be true. Mm-hmm. Can't be true.
Working class. One thing that doesn't get covered in the national media, Chad, is that in the white working class communities, they're really being impacted by the fentanyl coming in. And I think a huge kind of reason that is it's also in 2008 when we had our economy crash, when we had Republicans and Democrats sell out all the trading jobs to NAFTA. You take away those good paying jobs for those men, you fall into the opioid addiction that leads to divorce, family splitting up. It's a horrible problem. I was even reading that in Ohio, they can't even find any foster care parents for all the kids that who are now orphans due to their parents dying from fentanyl.
That's crazy. Yeah. Where is that at?
It's in Ohio, nowhere near close to the border. So people think that, I don't live in South Texas. What happens at the border doesn't impact me. Well, the states most impacted by the fentanyl are those states.
And we've got to make this border issue about the fentanyl.
Absolutely. This is, to me, it's not even a Republican Democrat thing. It's just an American thing. I just covered just recently in my own hometown, Palmdale, California, a 22-year-old kid named Jordan Erickson was working out in his gym, pops his knee working out. A local runs up and says, "Hey, Jordan, take this Oxycontin. It'll take the pain away." 24 hours later, that was a fake pill laced with fentanyl, and Jordan was pronounced dead.
So I hear people, when I bring up the fentanyl issue online, and people say, well, it's easy, just don't take drugs. Well, in that situation with what you just described, I mean, most people aren't walking around going, hey, this might be laced with fentanyl. Right. Maybe I should take,
The scary thing right now, Chad, is there's a phenomenon with these young kids, like 11, 12, 13, where we've been reporting on it, where they're taking a pill, they're a night out, they think they're taking ecstasy, they think they're taking a Vicodin, and it's fentanyl, and they pronounce dead the next. I mean, that's how quick it is. So we have there's a trend right now of these young kids are just dying on their first time taking these drugs, experimenting. I mean, I'm lucky that at least when I was in high school, that wasn't a thing. Yeah. The fentanyl.
Are you admitting to all your drug use now, Jorge? Is that what you just did?
We did some partying back in the day.
Did you just come out of the closet about that?
We did some partying.
Yeah.
But now we just stick to strictly tequila, Chad. You know that.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, you and I are in the same boat. Everybody that knows me, anybody that watches this show knows I've done some stuff. But I'm with you on that. So I encourage people, tell your kids, don't take anything.
Yeah, don't even take it. Don't even risk it at this point.
If it ain't prescribed to you and you're getting it from the pharmacy or whatever, which I think, let's talk about this for a minute. See, I think these, what are they, SSRIs, the antidepressant drugs that everybody's on, all the kids are on. See, I think that's leading to a lot of this. If you look at the connection between SSRIs and these shootings that are going on,
I believe that too.
It's massive statistically how it all matches up.
I mean, the pharmacies are basically the legal cartel.
Yeah.
You know, they're the cartel that could do it legally. They're putting all these kids on prescription pills early. I'm very lucky. I have an old school Salvadorian mom. So when I was in school, they were like, "Hey, you know, Jorge's a bit hyper. Put him on these pills." My mom was like, "Oh no, I'll just hit him with the chancla. We're not putting him on any types of pills." So I don't know how these parents do that to these kids.
Yeah, see, we grew up in a wooden spoon household. So, you just hear that drawer opening up, and you knew your ass was about to get whooped. You know, it's like, oh, we get that energy right out of him. You know?
My mom, for some reason, when she gets that chancla, she turns into Tom Brady with that thing, man.
She can hit you. Boom. Yeah. You're like, can't pay attention? We'll see about that. Yeah. We'll beat that attention into him. And I feel for these parents. It's a bad situation because you know, everybody keeps saying, well, you don't know what it's like to go through. And I'm like, you don't know what I know and don't know. I hate that response. Right. You don't know. No, what your human circumstantial experience has been has nothing to do with the truth, right? Like, the fact of the matter is they've created the problem and then built the pill to solve the problem. Now we got our kids hooked on this stuff. And, you know, kids sometimes want to experiment with alcohol and drugs and all these different things, and we've got them real used to popping a pill as it is, right? You know, from a very young age. Now they go to a party and it's time to take a Molly, time to take an ecstasy, whatever. Bam, it's laced with fentanyl.
And the thing is, with fentanyl, there's no second chance,
right?
You know, it's a one and done. Right now, for Americans age 18 to 45, the leading cause of death is fentanyl. And I do believe, Chad, with the inflation, with the economy where it is, we're going to have more Americans fall into opioid abuse.
Well, that's what's happening. People are depressed. They can't afford things, can't afford to put gas in their tank. There's no baby formula. Listen, here's a story right here. Well, if I can find it. Chris mixes my stuff up and he doesn't love me. But the thing on the baby formula, where's that at? We got a clip right there. 70% of baby formula out of stock. Play that clip.
With store shelves still barren across the country, tonight communities organizing giveaways to help desperate families in need of baby formula.
I have no baby formula for my baby for the last 2 weeks.
An estimated 70% of the nation's baby formula supplies now out of stock. In Dearborn, Michigan on Friday, cars lined up for nearly a mile waiting for formula. Volunteers struggling to meet the demand as some in line were turned away empty-handed.
I'm just overwhelmed at this point.
That's crazy.
I can't even believe that's the United States. We're the world's richest country, and we look like Venezuela.
Looking like Venezuela.
Oh, my gosh.
You look at pictures, and I saw one that somebody popped up in a meme the other day. It was Seattle. I mean, it looked like a third world country, like a bomb had gone off in some of these areas. And you're like, this is America. You look at this situation. Boy, I wanted to go deep down the rabbit hole. You want to talk about conspiracy stuff? My brain starts working in certain things, and I was just thinking, look, they brought COVID along, and by the way, Memorial Day, which was Monday, there were 5 times the cases of COVID in America than there was last Memorial Day. Yep. Nobody was talking about it on the news, right? Still a deal. Nobody's masked up on airplanes. Nobody's social distancing. Nobody's pushing the jab or the boost. Right. Nobody's doing any of that stuff. 5 times the cases, which tells me this was a manufactured crisis. I'm not saying it wasn't a real virus. I'm saying it's a manufactured crisis. So they bring that stuff on, and then they mask your kids. They put them behind plexiglass. You know, they put them on Zoom calls. They isolate them, which creates even more depression, creates more, social issues going on. Then you got them on the drugs, you got them on the antidepressants, you got them on all this stuff. You got the abortion issue that's going on. And now, I mean, you got children in the hospital because you can't feed them with baby formula right now across the United States. It's like there's a conspiracy to kill kids out here.
And, I mean, after seeing that story, you would think that our Congress would come together and say, what could we do to help out working class Americans? Oh, I know what we could do. We could send $40 billion to Ukraine in the middle of it, inflation. And I mean, Americans can't even get I mean, that looked like a clip out of Venezuela. That is embarrassing.
Don't talk about Ukraine, man. That is a sacred cow right there. That's Ukraine. You better love Ukraine. You don't question that, Jorge.
Hey, Chad, a little teaser for Thursday's episode. I'm working with your writer. We're going to point out some interesting connections between hepatitis A and the strawberry shortage,
Oh.
the baby formula shortage, the beef shortage,
Oh my God. Yeah.
and the shortage on your savings account is all tied in together.
See, Chris and Jennings like to get together and create crisis that people don't even know about. Like, you didn't even know you were in this kind of, like, who knew there was a strawberry shortage? Probably
There's a
everybody.
shortage of everything right now, man.
Everything.
We're running out of.
There's a shortage of common sense, Jorge. That's the problem. It's ridiculous. But there's, Brandon in the White House or wherever the hell he is, talking about 9mm bullets going to blow your lung way out. A 22 bullet is what he said will lodge in your lung. Now, let's not forget that whenever they shot Abraham Lincoln, when John Wilkes Booth, the bullet didn't exit. It stayed in it.
Right.
It stayed in his skull. Still killed him. Dug around with his finger trying to fish it out of there. I'm sure he didn't. Here talking about stupid kids. An 18-year-old Florida man, always a Florida man, arrested over a post showing him with a rifle, handgun, tactical style vest, asking Siri for directions to the nearest school. Do you see this story?
No, but what an idiot. I mean,
you need to arrest him. I mean, these are the things we're obviously going to have to be on the lookout for. Hey, you want to talk about no tolerance, talk about gun control. No, we need to have school control. Let's have school control. Let's put that under secure control rather than guns. But let's get rid of these idiots out here because that ain't funny.
one thing, Chad, too, to point out, him making that post, also the shooter Salvador Ramos, posting, I'm going to go shoot up a school 15 minutes later doing that. Facebook doesn't flag that stuff. But if you and me talk about the vaccine, election, any of that type of stuff.
Right on.
Oh, the posting immediately within milliseconds.
Yeah.
They could flag it, but they can't flag that. I mean, that's
and that's another thing. Facebook has backed off on putting the COVID warnings on your posts now. I've noticed that in the last week or two. I just put a shirt out that's it's the old classic Beto. Fake Mexican, real pendejo. And so by the time this airs, I may be back in Facebook jail for putting that out there. You can't have fun, dude. You can't have fun.
But you can say I'm going to shoot up a school, but you can't say that.
Shit's still on there. Dude, it's crazy. I've put several things on Twitter over the weekend, and it's like, oh my gosh, people are losing their freaking minds. And I'm like, come on, guys, there's jokes, there's real humor, and then there's this kind of stuff, which we're not playing with that.
Ridiculous. Facebook has no excuses for not taking that down. We've even done reporting when it comes to the border chat. Facebook allows human smugglers to organize groups on Facebook and organize as human smuggling to the United States. You could do all that, but don't talk about
And
COVID.
we've got talking about human smuggling. We're going to talk about a story when we come back from the break. That's going to kind of catch you back up on what happened with that American Airlines Center, the 15-year-old girl that went missing, and they found her in Oklahoma City.
What a crazy story.
But it's a crazy story.
Yeah.
I still don't understand all of it. And I've been sitting here with Jorge. He's been eyeballing my Casa Azul. I just spilled 25 cents of it right there on the deal. Don't shoot this. You got to sip this. You can shoot it if you want it, but you're a man of rarefied taste. And, he shot it. Look at it.
What a great drink.
You
One of my
still got to
favorites.
do Sarah's show today. You got to do a hit with Elijah. Heck yeah. Whew. I got to try to find where my next ad read is here. There it is. Let's make sure. Is that the right one, Chris? It is. Hey, folks, don't worry about the future. Don't worry about it. Well, you should worry about it if you're not prepared. If you're not prepared, you should be worried about it. I want you to start thinking about the days ahead and urge you to go to my special website, preparewithchad.com. I'll save you $150 on a 3-month emergency food kit from my friends at My Patriot Supply. It's not bunker food. It's delicious food. Wide variety of meals. 3 solid months of feeding every individual in your family. You got to get a kit for all of them. These meals are going to provide more than 2,000 calories a day. You're going to have strength, energy, and it'll get you through whatever you need. It stays fresh for up to 25 years. It's going to be there when you need it. Don't face the future without this food. Go to preparewithchad.com right now. Claim your $150 savings per kit. Your order is going to ship fast, free, and arrive in unmarked, discreet boxes for your privacy. Go to preparewithchad.com today. That's preparewithchad.com, and we'll be right back. So let's hit it hard and fast, Jorge. We got a lot of stuff that we want to get into here. Authorities, they rescued 70 missing children, including sex trafficking victims in Texas, Colorado, and Mexico. This all ties back to that American Airlines story where the girl went missing. She went to the bathroom. Her dad started looking for her, couldn't find her, found out she left. Find her in Oklahoma City. They were selling her for sex. Wow. But this thing actually opened. It kind of kicked the door wide open from the end of April through the middle of May. They said rescued children include victims of sex trafficking, physical sexual abuse. According to ICE agencies involved, provided counseling to the children and their families. Operation Lost Souls exemplifies Homeland Security investigations' commitment to protecting the public from crimes and victimization. The announcement of Operation Lost Souls comes days after the authorities arrested 8 individuals in connection with the 15-year-old girl who was allegedly trafficked from Dallas Mavericks game on April 8th. Apparently, they just kind of opened up a can of worms there.
That story is unbelievable. Also, for those human traffickers, how dumb to do it at a Mavericks game where they have every camera in the world to get to locate you.
Yeah, that's a sad situation. I mean, it's happening bad, and Texas is right there at the top.
Yeah,
Houston, Dallas. Yep. I mean, they're probably the 1 and 2 cities in America for this going on.
And we're so close to Mexico, so they're working in connection with probably some Mexican criminals.
Yeah,
that story. Even when I read it, it's like you can't believe that this is happening in America in just modern day like that. A Mavericks game.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I
don't care. I mean, my daughters, I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they're 24 years old, and I have one who is 24 years old. She ain't going to the bathroom by herself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still stand there, follow her.
Yeah, lesson learned for sure now in that, man.
Dude,
I'm at least glad the authorities were able to not only save her, but then in connection save 70 other children.
Yeah.
Man, thank God.
And so, let's bring that back. I know everybody wants to blast law enforcement right now over this Uvalde thing, and yes, mistakes were made by their own admission, but thank God for law enforcement.
Absolutely, yeah.
Out there investigating, doing the, I keep telling people, they say, well, there's bad cops out there. Yeah, there's bad sex, too. I don't turn it down.
It's bad everything.
It's bad everything. Yeah. Bad doctor. Somebody put titties on Nancy Pelosi. But it's still going to go to the doctor. You didn't even know Nancy had fake titties,
I
did
didn't
you? You'll look now. That's the best thing on Nancy, dude. I don't know why with kyphosis and a hunchback, any doctor would put aftermarket bolt-on titties on an 80-year-old woman, but by God, somebody out there did it. And I like them. Nancy.
It's America, baby.
They broke her face, but them titties are on point. What? This is hard-hitting journalism, Jorge. They may never have you back on Jesse Waters. Yeah. Don't let this clip get out. Chad Prather said it. I'm already banned from Jesse Waters. You can have Jorge back. Attorney for Pelosi's husband, though, released a statement saying untrue, incorrect reports made about the arrest incident. If I understand it right, he was having a little nippity-nip in Napa. Easy to do.
Happens to the best of us. We get it, bro. We get it.
Yeah. You can't go to Napa and not drink and drive. Yeah. I mean, what's bad is now they got you. If you crash your car, that OnStar will call the authorities for you, right? It's like, no. What's your emergency? Ain't got one. Well, it looks like you crashed your car.
No,
Did not. I'm driving just fine, bish. Oh, we got another hammered one. But Paul Pelosi, he was crossing the intersection in his 2021 Porsche.
Of course.
Of course he was.
Of course
he was. At like 4 a.m. Where are you coming from, Paulie? Where are you coming from? I want to know who's in the car with Paul. Maybe nobody.
There has to be other women involved. There's got to be.
82-year-old dude,
in
4 o'clock in the morning, bro. I don't have that kind of stamina.
He's paying somebody's college tuition.
Dude, that's what you get from drinking adrenochrome. You up all night. You here to party. But a 2014 Jeep hit him. No injuries. But, of course, the authorities came. You would think Paul would be like, can we settle this? Like, I'll buy you a brand new car. I got $120 million. Yeah, how about I blow my nose and a 2022 Jeep falls out?
Yeah.
Which might be hard to do even for Paul Pelosi since all the Jeeps are still on a ship off the coast of California. But it's another story. This a weird thing. Like, and look, again, I have been pulled over under suspicion of drunk driving. I have been that route. I'm not blaming the guy for. And by the way, drinking and driving itself is not illegal, or bars would not have parking lots. Okay, it's driving over the limit. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of suspicious stuff that was going on, at least what I read. Like, they arrest him at 4:15. They let him out of jail at 7 a.m. That's an 8-hour mandatory in Texas.
Yeah, what a guy. What a guy.
Yeah. And so then they wait as long as they can to finally breathalyze me. Blows the point. 08.
That Napa wine, Chad, hits different. So
that's a different word.
Yeah, that's a different wine down there. I don't blame the guy. He was having a little fun.
And that wine will get you set back. You got that wine will get you. Nothing gets you drunker than wine, man. It says he left the party. Let's see if this is right. Several news reports about Saturday night's traffic incident involving Paul Pelosi have included incorrect information, his attorney said. Mr. Pelosi was attending a dinner party at the home of friends near Oakville. He left the party at 10:15 p.m. Saturday to drive to his home a short distance away. He was alone in his car after stopping at the intersection of Walnut Drive and Highway 29. I've been there. And proceeding across Highway 29 to Oakville Cross Road, his car was hit on the back fender by a Jeep heading southbound on Highway 29. He said he was fully cooperative with California Highway Patrol officers, and that a prior driving offense erroneously attributed to Mr. Pelosi is untrue and likely refers to another person with the same name. That's usually what I go with.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to need that attorney when I'm in some trouble. Like,
Exactly.
No, that's just a different Jorge Ventura. They just have the same name.
That was a different Chad Prather that slapped that woman around. Which is actually a true statement. Can I go on record here and say that's why every time I do buy a firearm in the state of Texas, it always makes me wait a couple of days. I never immediately come back with a background check because there was a Chad Prather in Atlanta that beat up his wife and then got into a standoff with police years ago.
What a legend.
It's so my name hits whenever they run the background check. So I know if I'm buying a gun, that's going to wait.
Like, no, days. I'm Cowboy Chad. I'm not Atlanta Chad.
Yeah, exactly. I was Atlanta Chad at one time, but not the same Chad. Never hit a woman that didn't deserve it. Just see if y'all are still paying attention on the live chat there. But anyway, they said he left at 10:15. Incident happened a few minutes later. Processing took till 7:30 a.m. So maybe I'm wrong, according to the attorney. Yeah. So I don't know.
Good for him.
But again, nothing's going to happen.
No,
Paul Pelosi's not going to be picking up trash on the side of a California highway.
No.
Not going to do it.
Not going to do
There's
it.
a lot of trash to pick up in San Francisco around Paul Pelosi's house, but I don't think he's going to be.
I'd have a drink with Paul. I'd have a drink. I'd have some Napa wine with Paul and hop in that Porsche right after. And I'm like, let's just.
But bro, you're worth $120 million. You don't have a helicopter.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the deal? What are you,
just
Jordan Belfort?
Just pay somebody to wait outside and be like, hey, when I'm done, just take me home.
I mean, you're the Wolf of Wall Street, baby. I mean, with the insider trading, he's the real Wolf of Wall Street. Why can't you just have somebody, why are you trying to drive the Lambo like Jordan Belfort did in the movie? Banging everything.
Oh, I feel it, man. Paul was probably feeling himself that night. There's got to be other women involved. I will not believe that there was not.
I can't not.
I cannot.
I can't not. Let me just say, if I'm out till 4:15 in the morning, there's somebody else involved. There's somebody else involved. Yeah. I love sleep too much at this stage. I'm late in the game, baby. I'm late in the game. If I'm out till 4:15, and maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was done at 10:15. That's great. He's an early bed guy. He had to get up to go to work the next day. There's Viagra involved and all kind of things. We don't have time to get into this one just yet. We're going to go to the break and come back to it. I want to talk about that pinhead Justin Trudeau. Because here's the thing. Here's why it matters. Because what they're doing in Canada is always a direct correlation to what they're going to try to do here.
Yes, sir.
And
it's our neighbor in the West. We got to pay attention to what Canada's doing.
You got to watch them. I mean, Justin Trudeau, and I'll come back in this whole deal. They're basically going to get rid of all the guns in Canada. And to watch that press conference was the weakest and biggest symbolism of beta energy that I've ever seen in my life. Everybody masked up, and they don't even know if they're supposed to clap or not. It's ridiculous. Jorge.
Canada, Chad, it's on another level. I mean, I think the trucker convoy opened it up to the world when they were beating up workers and they had like horses trampling people.
Yeah.
The president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, made a good point. He said, if this was happening in my country, oh man, the United States would be out with a statement saying we need to intervene, human rights, freedom rights. But since it's Canada, I mean, we didn't even mention it. We just
let them go.
Look the other way.
Let's see. All right, we got to go to a break. Hey, you guys out there experiencing hair loss before you're 35, I don't think you want to gamble with your hair. You want to keep it. Trust me, I know these things. Flip the odds in your favor. Save your hair with Keeps. Keeps has clinically proven FDA-approved hair treatments available online. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or take care of the hair you have, your Keeps physician will help you select the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. It's easy. No waiting rooms or pharmacy visits. Keeps is delivered straight to your door at about half the cost. Half the cost, folks. And if you have questions, you can message your Keeps doctor 24/7. If those balding jokes are wearing thin, join thousands of guys who have saved their hair. Visit keeps.com/loss for 50% off your first order. That's Keeps, KEEPS.com/loss, keeps.com/loss. And we'll be right back. Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's getting wild in here. Let me wax eloquent, folks. Every once in a while, I like to come on here and not only get a little philosophical with you for a few minutes, but also give you a little bit of math to tickle that particular pleasure center in your brain. So here for your consideration is a very simple algebra equation I like to keep in my back pocket because unlike all the other algebra equations I learned during the dog days of my misspent youth, this one actually comes in handy. You ready for it? Here we go. The amount of crap you should be filling your pants with in terror is inversely proportional to the level of disaster dismissal on the part of economists. Yeah, I'm not sure that's algebra. I think pi fits in there somewhere, but you, at least I think a little bit, get my point. If not, allow me to expand a little. As of right now, many economists are saying that even though the United States savings rate has hit the lowest level since 2008, we're going to be just fine because Americans, quote, have excess savings that will keep us afloat until the economy can properly right itself. Well, thank God, because I was under the apparently erroneous assumption that as a country, our financial goose had pretty much been shot and was resting under the watchful eyes of Gordon Ramsay about to be cooked. Hell, lumber's so expensive, I can't afford to go make a sign that says the end is nigh. Gas is so expensive, I couldn't drive to Home Depot to get the lumber if I wanted to, and God forbid I have to make a stop along the way for baby formula. Let's take a look at what else these economists are saying, folks. Last April, the U.S. personal savings rate got down to 4.4%, according to a Yahoo Finance report. The U.S. Commerce Department said this is the lowest rate since 2008. This was after it had risen to a level of 33.8% in April of 2020. However, and here's where it gets interesting, listen to what Wells Fargo economists wrote in a public note about this last week. They said, and I quote, "In a typical cycle, a sharp drop in the savings rate would be a warning sign about the sustainability of spending. Because balance sheets are in such better shape, we see less cause for concern today. In fact, it is actually our baseline forecast for the savings rate to fall below its prior cycle average of 7.2% through the end of 2023, end quote." So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to see here. Look, I'm no economist, but I have to say that I remain mighty skeptical about what they're saying about this. Because here's the thing. The market is dynamic. It's nuanced. It's got 100,000 tentacles, each waving in its own direction, yet each one connected to and dependent upon all the others at the same time. We're going to go deeper in the weeds on this throughout the rest of the week because there's a ton of talk about all of this. But for now, I just want you to consider this. The United States government pushed trillions of dollars of your tax money into the economy in the wake of the pandemic. Now, that kind of move had some good effects and some bad effects. I know I'm biased, but I firmly believe that if Donald Trump had been elected for a second term, our economy would be well on its way to a full recovery. It might even be recovered by now. Not because he's got magical powers or anything like that, but because he knew how to pull the government back from the market. That's not the world we're living in right now, folks. Inflation is soaring. The world of shipping goods is on fire. And we have an administration at the top who'd rather spend all of their time finding ways to blame it on Vladimir Putin than doing something positive about it. Yet I'm supposed to turn off the heebie-jeebies because these economists seem to be reducing a multi-factor analysis of the economy as a whole down to one area, personal savings, where they want to tell me that it's not so bad. Not because savings aren't in the toilet. They are, but because they projected them to be in the toilet for a while? Sorry, that dog's not going to hunt with me. Jorge, we're screwed.
I hate it, man. Can't afford anything. I can't afford my tamales, my carne asada tacos, bro. I'm struggling right now.
Elote!
Can somebody donate some carne asada my way, please? Struggling out here, Chad. We're struggling.
You're going to be back to eating the cheap meat, baby.
Yeah, man. I'm on those fake Taco Bell tacos right now. I need that real carne.
Golly, man. We're in trouble. Like I'm trying to just breathe through it, you know?
Yeah. Take it day by day. Man.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't get a stimulus check. Apparently I make too much or something. I don't know. But are any of us making anything?
Yeah, I mean,
at this stage in the game, dude. Give me your cup.
Man.
Give me your cup. This is what we got to do. You know what I was watching?
I can't even take the ladies out for drinks anymore, Chris, in
You
this
can't do
economy,
it.
in this inflation.
I got to find me a sugar mama.
Yeah.
I heard there's a website. You know what I miss, Mark? I was watching some old episodes from when we were in the hot box over there across the parking lot in the old Studio 22, when we just had to come up with stuff and we talked for an hour and a half with no commercial breaks. Now, we were broke and we were hot and sweaty, but we had fun. I don't know about you, because you had to sit there and listen to our pontifications and drunken ramblings. Cheers, Jorge. Shout out to my boy. Woo!
Man, Chad puts those to the rim.
Well, la. Shout out to my boy Kyle Thompson, host of An Undaunted Life. He was on the show last week. He brought that in here. Whew, let me tell you. Somebody wants to be a guest on the Chad Prather Show. All it takes is a big old bottle of Casa Azul.
Oh, only the best. Only the best, Chad.
So Justin Trudeau, real quick, I want to talk about this. He basically said they're going to buy back assault-style firearms and we're going to put a freeze on handguns in response to the recent shooting in Uvalde.
That didn't even happen in his country.
Didn't even happen in his country. That's right. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's so
See, I tweeted out, I was like, all you people who have the profile picture of the Ukrainian flag are the ones who are barking the most about civilians having firearms. And then people are like, that doesn't even compare. Oh, you're stupid. It's exact. Civilians in the Ukraine, we just shipped them billions of dollars of arms to arm their citizens to fight back against Russia. Well, our country isn't tyrannical. You're stupid.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
Man, those Ukrainians are begging for the weapons now.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So now let's watch what happens in Canada. Watch what happens in Canada. And listen, big shout out to my buddies over in Western Canada. Those of you in Alberta, y'all are my people. Texas to the north. Y'all get it. Y'all know it's going to be bad. This kind of thing. Look, and there were 2 shootings like in the last week in Australia. Not mass shootings type per se, but not by our definition. But there were a couple of shootings in Australia, a place where they're not supposed to have any guns.
I've never seen a world leader change a policy in his country to an event that did not happen in his country. I mean, this is fascinating stuff.
You want to talk about jumping on a crisis? It ain't even your crisis, bro. I mean,
Jesus.
But that's a political move because it's not happening in Canada.
Oh man,
These kind of things aren't happening in Canada.
Just Justin Trudeau just loves to rule with an iron fist. I highly recommend everyone to do some research on him, find out about Justin Trudeau's family, all financed by China. He looks up to China all the time. And that's all public. I mean, he put out statements.
Go back to the speech he gave in 2013 where he says he wants to emulate China. Let's take a quick break. Shopping for life insurance. It ain't fun, folks. All that hunting down quotes and keeping track of who's who, it can be a real hassle. But if you got people who depend on you, children, parents, even business partners, it's incredibly important. Policy Genius. I love them, man. They're a one-stop shop to find the insurance you need at the right price. You can head over to policygenius.com/Chad to get started. In just a few minutes, you'll be able to compare personalized quotes from top companies, find your lowest price. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. Policy Genius, they don't add the extra fees, doesn't sell your information to third parties, and they got thousands of 5-star reviews across the Google and Trustpilot platforms. They have options that are going to offer coverage in as little as a week, let you avoid unnecessary medical exams. Since 2014, Policy Genius, they've helped over 30 million people shop for insurance, placed over $150 billion in coverage. Policy Genius works for you, not the insurance company. So get started today. Head over to policygenius.com/Chad. Free life insurance quotes. See how much you could save. We'll be right back. All right, so it's June 1st, which means it's LGBTQ Pride Month. It's Gay Pride Month.
LGBTQCYZPQ. You forgot some letters in there, Chad.
I'm a plus, LGBTQ plus, ZQA. I don't know. I'm a bipedal, multi-sex, trisexual, try chickens, try mud, try anything. So you got Black History Month, which is February,
right?
And then you got Women's History Month. Now in June, we're about to hit the white evil. Am
I misogynistic because I didn't know there was a Women's History Month?
I didn't know. I don't know. I mean, see, people got mad. Boy, I burned this bitch up. Speaking of what, so Chris, you saw it, right? This chick came at me. She's in Atlanta. She's a blue check on Twitter.
Oh, great.
And she came at me on Twitter. And I don't do preemptive strikes. Like, I don't troll anybody's page. I don't go after anybody. If it pops up, I may comment, but I don't go after anybody. Well, this chick started digging deep on me. She saw my thing where I said, there's some fishy shit going on here with the Uvalde investigation. And so she started digging deep. She started digging all this stuff out. And, like, you know, I've got all these pictures that I've posted of this basically porn and smut that's in the public schools and stuff. And I'm like, you know, she started digging into that, saying I'm a book burner. Oh, I made her have a very bad Saturday. It was a very bad Saturday. I retweeted her out there, and I said, you know, because again, if you're not a groomer but you're a groomer defender or a groomer apologist, just lump them in the same bucket of shit as far as I'm concerned. She had a bad day.
Good.
And I had people who kept, you know, they're like, oh, yeah, Chad. And I was like, I don't normally go after you guys, but I'm at a point now where when it comes to the grooming thing and stuff like that, I'm going to blast you. I'm just going to blast you. So, anyway.
I love those moments, Chad, because then, you know, your army of followers, like, has your back, and they also go in there and
I
help you out. Yeah, ratio them.
I felt bad about doing it. I was about to delete the tweet, and she goes, F off, F you, F your followers. I can handle this all day long. I was like, okay, we'll leave it up.
Send, yep.
So she started deleting all of her tweets and doing the whole thing. So I hope she had a great Women's History Month. I hope she did. And one of the things she went after me was talking about all of the gay pride parades and stuff that are coming. And I said, so monkeypox.
Yeah. What about that?
And she's like, oh, you're scum and all this kind of stuff. I was like, come on, man, it's humor. The only people getting monkeypox are the dudes.
And Chad, nothing says LGBTQ plus like Disney Plus new TV show. Oh, have you seen it?
No. You have it? Oh.
Hello, and welcome to the Disney Plus This Is Me Pride Celebration Spectacular.
Oh,
I'm Nina West, and I'm here to guide you through a magical, musical, and meaningful celebration of the LGBTQ plus community. GLSEN's mission is to create safe and inclusive schools for LGBTQ plus students in grades K through 12. And Disney Plus is so proud to support this wonderful organization. For more information, visit www.glisten.org/pride. Now, I'd like to shine a spotlight on a fellow queen who knows a thing or two about creating an epic Disney Plus inspired look that set the internet ablaze this last year. Esteemed guests and friends, I give you my friend, Jackie Cox.
Oh, you didn't think you were the only magical girl in town, did you?
Jackie Cox? Jackie Cox?
Bro, why can't they just stick to, like, I'm just going to do my math homework, man? Well, that's, I mean, there's no words for it.
I was a latchkey kid. Let me just tell you, I'm glad I didn't come home to that.
Oh, man.
You know
the propaganda, dude. It's amazing. I mean, for me, it's like, dude, just let the kids do freaking the math and the history and the spelling. We got bigger issues to worry about than pushing this stuff.
Dude, I can't with this. And
this, Chad, like stuff like this is pushing away those immigrant families, because I spent time interviewing immigrant families, Hispanic families. This is pushing them away. They do not go for this stuff. So if they continue to do this, you're going to continue those families are just going to be pushed to the GOP when it comes to voting, because they don't align with any of this stuff.
None of it. That's why we've said numerous times, if your genders and your pronouns are so important, you might want to close those borders down, because the folks that are coming across, they don't jive with that crap.
Yeah. Trust me, guys. As a Hispanic who I covered issues related to my community, maybe not in public. Hispanic parents don't say anything about the trans issue and stuff, but behind closed doors, it's a whole different story. So I would stop pushing that if I was this.
One of my daughters graduated high school this past week, and we all went to dinner. We were talking about it because I got adult daughters, and then I got a son, like I was telling you yesterday, who just enrolled in college. He's 15 years old. And they wanted it. They were like, we had talked a while back about doing a Disney World trip this summer, and because when they were little, when they were babies, we would go, right? And so we were talking about, and they were like, and so their mom was like, let's do a trip. Let's go to Disney. I was like, I can't. I can't do it. Not with this going on. I can't, like, I just can't.
You can't spend your money there.
They're
right?
gone, dude. I mean, they're anathema. They're a curse. They're gone. They're off the radar for me. And she goes, I knew that's what you'd say, and we agree. And she's like, I just wanted to, throw it out there and test you and see. And I was like, and it hurts. It breaks my heart because I remember, one of my best memories in life was when my kids were, 2-3 years old, and you go out there in that sense of wonderment. Yeah. But I don't want them wondering about Jackie Cox. I don't want them on that spectrum looking at trying to figure out what's crammed into the pantyhose there of glisten.com.
What a name, that Jackie Cox.
Jackie Cox. You got a TikTok, or what block are we in?
Disney
We're
Plus.
in D? Give me a TikTok then. Jackie Cox block. Do it.
All right, so the girls wanted to go through a couple letters this morning from a really fun game. It's the bad word alphabet game. So these are words that they shouldn't be saying, but we say them anyways, just for this game. I'll start. A, asshole.
B, bitch. C, cocksucker.
D, dick.
I'm not really sure what I should
E.
do for E. Erected.
Erected.
F.
G. Gonads.
What?
H.
H. Am I allowed to say it?
Yeah.
Whore.
Okay, well, that's a W word.
Really? It's
But-
W?
Yep.
I thought that was H.
We're going to end there.
What about hell?
We're going to end there.
So obviously, I mean, the kids don't even know what these words are or mean, but something is motivating this woman to teach her children, who are basically toddlers.
Why do white liberals do this, Chad?
Dude,
it's so cringe.
I mean, your kid doesn't know what a gonad is.
Come on. That was, oh, God, so weird. There's like no words. I don't even know. God, that was cringeworthy.
Dude, that's bad.
I feel bad for those kids to be raised like that, too.
I mean, that's not open-mindedness. That's not inclusivity. That's ignorance right there. That's what that is. I mean, that is fostering something on a generation that they are completely ill-equipped.
That mom needs to get hit by a chancla, bro. Like, we need a
wooden spoon.
Yeah.
I can hear the drawer opening up.
Yeah. Is there any abuelitas near her? Go discipline. Jeez.
I'm lost, dude. I just don't see the merit in any of that stuff. You're raising those kids for some severe disappointment in life.
But also, Chad, a lot of these parents, they just do stuff for social media. It's like disgusting. Like you put in your kids' faces like that, and knowing, I mean, that TikTok, it's gonna go viral. But just to put your kids always out there and using them for social media clout is embarrassing as a parent.
Hey guys, I'm trying to stay fit. Sometimes I feel like I need to shake things up. But listen, not by switching up your workout routine. I want to talk about what you're sticking in your ears. A pair of Raycon wireless earbuds. You can shake all you want. They're not going to fall out. They're the best way to bring audio with you because no matter how much you shake things up, no matter how much you shake, they're not going to fall out of your ears. The everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever before. They've got awareness mode, so you can still hear what's going on around you with your surroundings. Optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit. They're comfortable. They're not going to budge. Trust me, I love mine. They offer 8 hours of playtime, 32-hour battery life. They're priced just right. You get the quality audio at half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycon, they are the everyday earbuds for over 48,000 five-star reviewers. Call to action is right here, folks. Get them 15% off Raycon. Order them at buyraycon.com/watchchad. That's buyraycon.com/watchchad. Save 15% on those Raycons. Raycon.com/watchchad. Be right back. WatchChad.com. Don't forget Jorge Ventura. Check him out. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you.